Hey everyone, and I thank you guys so much for hanging out with me yet again. Okay, so as you guys know, in my last video, I did talk to you guys all about the fiasco that occurred on The Voice in the elimination round where Deandre indeed got eliminated. Now, if you guys did not watch that video, go ahead and watch it so that you'll be brought up to speed on exactly what I am talking about also today. And I also want to thank each and every one of you guys that conversed with me and did give me your feedback, your comments, and your insight, because indeed I did learn something new. And I can see that you guys are just as passionate about what occurred as I am. I mean, what is right is right is right. Just make it right already. Okay, so in this episode, we are going to be talking about Reagan Strange and how strange she is. Well, not actually how strange she is, but how strange many occurrences that were happening on The Voice that night were. And I don't know if you guys picked up on it, but I picked up on a lot of strange things. So many things going on. As a matter of fact, many of you guys commented on my comments, but also on social media. It's been quite a dramatic conversation. And even some of you have thought that there may be some conspiracy theories that are going on. Now, I don't know if that is the case, if that is true, but what I can tell you that is true is that there were many things that were awfully strange. Now, of course, I know you guys might have picked up on so many other things, so indeed, feel free to chime in wherever you want to and give me your feedback on that as well. And in the end of this episode, I'm actually going to give you my opinion, my assumption of what I believe actually occurred. Okay, so number one, the strangest occurrence of all, we already know, is the fact that Reagan Strange did not have to sing in the elimination round, which made no sense because that was usually a part of the process. How did she get a pass? I don't know, but she indeed got one. And number two, when they did first announce that Reagan Strange was not going to be performing that evening, they did state that she was sick and under the weather and actually did not even know where her whereabouts were. Now that's awfully strange. Within that whole production, you guys did not know where she was. Not Adam, not the show's producers, none of the staff. Oh my. You mean to tell me that you guys do not keep tabs on your contestants, especially if they are supposed to be performing that evening? Yeah, that's awfully awkward. I mean, that is so strange. In fact, that is like an episode of Where's Waldo? Well, obviously, he's with Reagan Strange because no one knows where she's at. And number three, the fact that when Carson Daly did state that Reagan was too sick to sing, she was feeling under the weather. Well, I have to ask, how sick was she and what was she sick from and why was it so secretive? Because that is all Carson Daly divulged, was the fact that she was under the weather and she was too sick to sing. Well, we can't be the judge of that because they wouldn't even tell us what was wrong with her. So I have to ask, what was the big secret? Because usually they do tell you if it's a sore throat, if it's laryngitis, they'll give that information. So how sick were you, Reagan? Let us know because no one else would. And also, as a side note, not only was Reagan sick, but did you guys know that Kelly Clarkson was sick as well? Now, did she sit out in a robe? No, she did not. She performed her hiney off and you could not even tell that she was sick at all. So again, how sick were you? Because you were actually in the midst of the crowd and you were looking pretty much dolled up and ready to go, other than the fact that they put you in that silly robe again. Go figure. Did you guys know that Deandre was actually sick at one point of time? Yes, he was. As a matter of fact, he was sick with laryngitis. Now, did he sit out in the audience in a corny white robe? No, he did not. And why? Because he understood exactly how important it was for him to sing in that competition. Therefore, he pushed right through his sickness. And yes, because Adam was his coach, Adam knew that. But did that get taken in consideration during the time of elimination? I don't think so. And the fourth strangest and most craziest thing that occurred that evening was the fact again, nobody knew where Reagan was hanging out with Waldo, but indeed, she happened to mysteriously appear. Conveniently, it was almost perfect timing when they actually showed her. When Adam was pouring out his heart, hoping to obtain all of those pity votes, and all of a sudden, the cameras mysteriously found her within the crowd. And I have to tell you, for someone being so sick, I was a little bit surprised because she was all glammed up, makeup all fixed, hair all nice, prim and proper. Not a hair, not a strand was out of place. And the camera made sure to take that perfect footage as the floodgates of heaven opened and her tears came pouring down. How it glistened, how it glowed within the light and the ambience of the atmosphere. And she was looking so angelic and so adorable. America's heart melted enough, in fact, that she was voted through. It actually affected me as well, but I didn't let my emotions override logic. So yeah, that was a very awkward occurrence that they did find her when they needed her. So I've got to ask you guys, with all of the strange occurrences, very unusual things happening on The Voice, do you guys think it was a conspiracy? Was it a plot? Was it all planned out? Was it a setup? Was it made for TV? And unfortunately, I really don't know, other than the fact that there were some very unusual, very awkward, very strange, and very suspect things that were going on that evening. But I can tell you that I do believe that everything that you see on TV is not actually real. And I do have a video that I wanted to share with you by the individual by the name of Bradley that actually experienced a lot of these singing competitions. I think he was on the X Factor and also American Idol, and he shares with you some of the events during the audition and how the shows are actually set up. So if you want to find out a little bit more about that, I'm going to go ahead and post that link below, and you definitely can check him out, and that'll give you some more insight on exactly how these shows really work. And here we are at the end of the show. And like I told you guys, I will give you my opinion, my assumption, and my thoughts of what actually took place with Reagan. Now, again, this is just my assumption. This is just my opinion. I have no facts. Nothing to back it up. No receipts by any means. So please keep that in mind. So was Reagan really sick? Okay. Sick as far as having a cold, sick as far as having laryngitis, strep throat, a flu? No, I don't believe she had that. Because if she had that, I believe the show would indeed have exposed that. Because no big deal at all, right? Happens to us all. But I do believe that she was perhaps still sick. I believe that she might have been mentally sick or mentally stressed. That sounds a little bit better, because you guys have to understand, in these types of shows, and keep it in mind that she is 14 years old. She is very young to be dealing with that type of stress, that type of pressure. And I do believe that perhaps she got overly worked up, overly stressed out, and perhaps even a mental breakdown. And I believe that it was due to the stress of the show. So I do believe that the show had something to do with that, and that's why it was not exposed. I also believe, I asked you before, why did she get a pass? Because that was very unusual, right? Well, I believe it was a form of compensation because it had something to do with the show. So therefore, it was kind of a form of damage control to give her a pass, to allow her the opportunity to still pass through. After all, the cause of it was the stress of the show, or something that occurred on the show, dealing with perhaps another competitor, maybe cast member or staff member, producers, the coaches. But yes, indeed, whatever the case may have been, I believe that was the cause of why she could not sing. So yeah, I do believe something did occur. Now, I know I did this in a comical type of way, and I guess this is a form of comedy relief through all of the uproar here. And I do know that this is a serious situation because all of us felt the pain and the hardship of what happened on that show. So please forgive me. I don't want to offend anyone because, I did make it comical. But again, I just wanted to cheer people up, give a little bit of laughter behind it, and still expose the fact that there were many strange things that were occurring on the show. So again, I don't know if this is what happened. These are my thoughts. I definitely would like to hear from you and see what you guys are thinking at this time. What do you guys think actually happened with Reagan, actually happened with Deandre? And indeed, I want to also know, do you guys think that The Voice will take in consideration of how it made America feel? Do you think that they're going to rectify this? Because I have to say, all eyes are going to be on the next episode of The Voice. And they do have to take consideration because the fans and the viewers actually made the show in the regards to why it's still on air. And indeed, if they lose too many viewers, that is a cause of the end of many shows. So I do believe that this has to be addressed. I thank you guys all so much for engaging with me and visiting me here. I hope you guys do subscribe. I am going to have so many fun and exciting adventures here and would love to have you guys back. I thank you guys so much for joining me here at The Young Life, and I hope to see you guys soon. Bye-bye for now. Mwah.